I always get...
A few weeks ago, we had a chance to take a look at Tokyo's cheapest apartment.
I always get
Just under
claustrophobia
$100
looking at
a month.
these
And again,
Japanese
getting
apartments.
fast and loose with the word apartment, as it came with some pretty major caveats.
That one was wild,
made
too.
it questionable as to whether or not it was even really a livable space. It was old, it was raggedy, and you know what? If you want to know more,
I like his
go
shirt.
check
I'm
that
not gonna
out.
lie.
Today, I
Yeah.
want to show you a place that's being called Tokyo's smallest new apartment.
Oh,
and in
no.
contrast to the last place, it is very new, and it's
Look at how
very
small the hallway is.
Yeah.
so
How do you even
this
get furniture
is
in there?
the one I'm going to be checking out
He shows you a couple
right
units
here.
in this
Are you
space, and
ready?
it's
Can
wild.
you feel the excitement?
They're just, the way they're set up is so, like, what?
Okay, so right now I'm kind of in Genkan or
Oh, this might actually be the one that I
which is
kinda like.
Small, but it's not bad.
This one you
I've
like?
been in
Possibly,
better
hold on.
spaces in Japan, and then I like this place.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's actually not terrible. Like, this is actually better than most showers you'll find in business hotels.
That kind
here
of
in
seems
Japan.
like it would be like the
And
kind of walk-in
washroom
shower that you would
itself
have in like a normal.
is right here.
Okay, that's a little small.
As you can see, they have put a lot of effort into making sure that both the washroom and the shower area have a really new.
I mean, so
and
far this
clean
isn't the
feel to them.
worst.
This one's the
Genuinely
better
nicer
one. This
than
is the
walking
3-story
so
one
far.
that's actually kind of
And I
rad.
love
There's like
it.
the parts that-
3-story.
From what I know, yeah.
But now for the moment of moments, the main
Oh, I
Oh
see.
no,
I
this isn't
see.
it. This is a different one. This is a teeny
This
one. And the way
is-
these people
this is
use
the
this
main
is
room.
interesting. Yeah.
And
Seems
I
like it would
guess
have a
share
loft
what's
with the
special about this place is just built.
Oh, it does
to
have a
be
loft, okay.
Really livable.
Yeah, I figured that's what the
Yeah.
ladders were for. But I mean, okay, so for me, for someone of my size, it seems like there's plenty of headroom in this place at least.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like I would be able to walk around at least a little bit. I don't know.
From the loft, which we'll take a look at in a second.
I don't know what kind of bed you can get in
are
there
little
though.
Hangers up here that you can
Like,
put your clothes
9
on and
meters.
whatnot if you want to hang your laundry.
Are we talking about like a
There's
twin?
Actually, this neat little cord here.
The fuck?
It's
that
a
you
laundry
can stretch
line.
across all the way to the
Oh.
other side.
You can dry your
Boom,
laundry.
and you can hang your laundry.
I guess there
there
isn't
like
space
that.
for a dryer in there, huh?
Yeah.
It takes a second to retract. It adds so much light and
So
and
like,
gentle
this
light.
isn't terrible
It's very livable.
on the
Yeah.
face of it,
This
but I want to
is
know the
what it
price.
looks like here.
I want to know the price on this
Probably
thing.
fit a bed
Only thing that sucks
or
about
a
this is this.
phone there.
That
right
little
here, you're
part
like-
that sticks out.
Yeah.
Might be a
Yeah.
little tight for me.
Wait, how tall is this guy?
I feel like he's taller for
I'd
sure.
figure it out. I'd actually probably put my bed down below anyway. I'd likely set up my bed down there and then use.
But then
this
when you
for
hang
more
your wet clothes, your wet
storage
clothes would
or-
drip on your
I don't know.
bed.
I
That's
saw
if you use
pictures
the
of
dryer
one
line,
person
though.
using a projector.
But how else are you gonna dry your
to watch
clothes?
Movies
Go to the
up in
laundromat?
their loft area, which I thought was super neat.
I
And
guess.
even up here on the nice too. There we go.
Oh, that is cool. That's a cool little neighborhood.
Really
Yeah.
nice weather today as well. You can hear the birds. The
Yeah, you
building
can
is
just
also
jump right out the
just
window
as
and
new
run down the
and
street.
beautiful from outside as it is from in. This
Someone can come
particular one
visit
is
you if
located
you're having
in
an
the
affair. You just
northern
push him out
area
the
in
window.
the
It's
space
totally
known as
fine.
Utenji.
Yeah, if you
There's
gotta
actually-
jump
There's
out the
a
window
Starbucks
to.
right there.
Housing.
Wait,
that-
what was that?
I said there's a Starbucks
Utenji.
right there. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Ready to go.
And cozy corner, whatever cozy corner might be.
Yelling and being
Okay.
like, hey, can you guys make me a coffee? Thanks, I'll be over in a minute.
See, or just like paper airplane over there.
There's actually part of a project for cheap housing that they're trying to, how can I put it? They want to provide affordable housing to help like students and young people and really anybody.
Oh, imagine
get a
that.
leg up, and all of these are located within 10 minutes of the station in major areas like Shinjuku and the Meguro area, Ike.
What is LA's public transit like?
I think it's decent. Everybody says it's a mess, but I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I
Do
feel
they
like
have
it-
a train line?
Yeah, they have multiple.
Okay. And they actually like are
Run
Usable.
and mildly reliable. Yes.
okay. Interesting.
They run about every 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And,
And they, wait, do they
usually on time unless something crazy happens.
Fair enough. How late do they run?
That's the issue. So, and especially with post-COVID, like that's the issue.
Yeah.
So on Friday and Saturday, they used to run till 2 a.m.,
Okay.
which is not late enough, in my opinion. Should have been till at least 3.
Well, does LA do they all their bars and stuff close at 2?
2, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the issue.
So it ran till 2 a.m., but now it only runs till midnight.
Okay,
Which
sucks.
Yeah, which is not convenient for anybody.
Well, I mean, at least it's functional for other purposes, though. Unlike the one here where it's just running on one line that doesn't really hit anywhere important.
Oh God!
And then it stops at like 10 p.m.
Yeah. Well, it stops at like 6.
Here?
Yeah, because that line is used for actual trains to do cargo.
I thought it stopped at 10.
I think it stops earlier. I think on the weekends it stops at 10, but I think on the weekdays it stops at like 6 or 7.
That's useless then. That's entirely useless. Hold on a second.
It's meant for commuting, and that was it. It was meant to
But I
commute
mean,
from work.
people leave the office at like 6 p.m. Hold on a second. Let me see.
Pretty nice.
Loa, hey, welcome to the stream. Well, that says a lot. I mean, I was in Seattle visiting a friend of mine, and they have a subway there too, and I was really impressed by it. Like,
yeah.
it was clean. It was clean there. It was quick. It was actually useful for what I needed it for, at least. So I'm always I'm fascinated. Living in Texas for 20 years, I'm fascinated by the idea that public transit can be anything other than horseshit.
I mean,
so as soon as I saw the trains here, I saw the trains in this video, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Like, they actually have a really awesome rail line that like,
and I'm sure great bus system too.
But even worse than that, though, is like this line, it's not gonna drop you off at your house. It's gonna drop you off at wherever you parked your car to get on the train, which means like.
Well, what I do with this is I'll take an Uber to the station.
Fair enough. So you can do that at least. Take an Uber to the station.
But even Ubers out here are fucking expensive.
More than LA?
Oh God, yes.
Really?
Oh God, yes. Yeah, no. If I was my parents live in Cedar Park, and to take a Uber to Elysium, it's like $60 or more.
That sounds
maybe.
That sounds
like
actually, you know what? That sounds right for here. But how
it,
much would that distance be in LA?
I mean, LA. That's like going from like Santa Monica to my house probably, and that's gonna be like $30 maybe.
Really?
I mean.
台所というかキッチンなんですけど、僕恵比寿で焼肉屋さんしてるんで、まあまかないが出るんで。
He could eat there. Now that is a sweetheart deal. I love yakiniku.
何ももうおかずにやってます。
これ He doesn't cook at home.
ルーパーです。
That helps.
はい、2匹。
Oh, he has an aquarium?
He's got axolotls or whatever, however it's pronounced.
黒と白ですね。
Look at them, they're so cute.
収納もないので、まあ自分で。
Such a small space for them.
It is a very small space.
ラック買ったりで、まあできるだけ最小限の洋服とかでやってます。
I feel like you have to keep your clothing to a minimum.
Yeah.
広げて寝て、休みの日は。
Okay, so he just sleeps down there then.
Yeah.
What does he do with his upstairs spot?
多分寝るんでしょうけど、まあ僕はちょっと上まで上がるのがちょっと億劫なのと、で上はまあ。
So he uses it as a gym space? This guy is all about minimalism.
Yeah. And he's got a projector up there too.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
これでバーンって映して映画とか見たりする部屋にしてますね。
But I love that he's like, I don't come up here much anymore. It's too much of a hassle. I was like, oh, okay.
まあ僕がここに住んでみての感想なんですけど、まあロフトは最初憧れで楽しそうだなと思って。
Did he got sick of climbing up and down the stairs?
やっぱり結構この上に登るっていう仕草がちょっと億劫だなっていうのはちょっと感じてきましたね。
じゃあ最近ロフトあんまり使わない感じ？
あんまり使ってないですね。もうここだけで生活してる感じになっちゃってますけど、薄いと思いますね。壁、隣の人の話し声とか下の話し声とかも聞こえるので。
That's him just saying.
でもこの街が結構
That's exactly what that is.
それは全然まあ気にならないくらいですね。まあどうせなら新築がいいなっていうので。
You know what sucks about his though is because he's on the top floor. He doesn't have all the windows like the bottom floor.
あんまりないので。
Oh, he's on the top floor.
Yeah, because he can't. Because he went upstairs. It doesn't have all the windows right there too.
I guess that sucks for lighting, but I bet you that's helpful for heating and cooling.
I'm sure, yeah.
See you guys.
Because if he's also at the top, that means the sun's hitting him.
He was a
So
ton
that
of
place
fun.
must get hot.
Lots of gratitude to him for sharing his nerves. The price is really good. Each of these rooms is only around 70,000 yen, or about $650, give or take, depending on the area and whether it's an
$650? That's awesome.
As much as 80,000 yen, but considering that in this area, in the Meguro-ku area where I am, a used place for rent starts at around $1,000 a month and goes much higher than
That's
that.
what I would imagine.
That aren't
Even
studios.
1,000 is a deal. Like, you can't find a studio in Austin for 1,000.
In fact, it's almost unheard of. Like, I love how much light you can get into this place. And if you can live the minimalist lifestyle, it makes moving really easy as well, because moving in Japan can be super expensive. So living in a place like this, you could save all kinds of money. But I'm really curious about like the loft, because even Koki was saying that when he first moved in, he used it a lot, but not as much anymore. I don't know. I think I would use this now. Mind you, I also have like a lifted loft space that I thought I would use a lot more than I do, and now it just gets used for shamisen recordings and stuff like that.
Shamisen. Oh, look at how. Oh, okay. So that's how cramped it is up there. Oh man, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'm 6'5". There's no way. There's no way I'd be able to do that. All right, that puts it into perspective a little bit. Isn't exercising up there kind of dangerous? I mean, I guess it's not like he's jumping up and down or anything, clearly.
Yeah, I think he's just doing like squats and
Squats,
arms and
maybe some yoga.
yeah.
I don't think he's breaking too much of a sweat. 650,000 a year? No, I think they meant like 650.
650 a month.
Yeah, $650 a month.
Yeah.
After the conversion from yen. $650 a month is shockingly cheap for anywhere right now, let alone Japan.
411. Yeah, you'd fit in there perfect.
Yeah, you'd slide right on in there, no problem. This is made specifically for you.
I guess you would have.
Inside Hong Kong's cage homes.
Oh, that one's interesting for sure.
That sounds depressing.
It's more expensive to live in Hong Kong than
This
anywhere
guy's
in the
videos
world.
are amazing.
Yeah, I've seen this dude before.
Hong Kong has been ranked the least affordable housing market in the world 8 years in a row. And by a long
buildings
shot.
are terrifying.
Housing prices are now almost 20 times more than annual income. That means that a household making $50,000 would, on average, be looking for a house that costs $980,000. And it's getting really bad.
Hold on a
Hundreds
second.
of thousands
I think I
of residents now
misheard
squeeze
something.
into average. That means that housing prices are now almost 20 times more than annual income.
That sounds
means
right.
That a household making $50,000 would, on average, be looking for a house that costs $980,000. And it's getting
Sounds like
really
Austin.
bad.
Sounds
Hundreds
like
of
Austin.
Thousands of residents now squeeze into incredibly small apartments, most of them no bigger than a parking space.
So these are cage homes, which basically fit
Oh my
one
god.
person and their belongings, and they basically stack these in a room in order to fit as many people as they can in the room.
And yet the price per square foot for these smaller houses just keeps shooting up.
That's not a house.
I visited these
I know.
homes to try to piece together an explanation for this trend, and to meet the people who are being squeezed by the world's least affordable real estate market.
It's terrifying. Even those are terrifying. Like, these buildings are huge and the spaces are so small.
Yeah.
It's just wild. I mean, these shots are beautiful though, but it's just like, what the fudge?
Yeah, that's definitely like. There's plenty of space in Hong Kong to like develop livable.
People in this city who live in spaces that
The
are
music was way
between
too loud.
Yeah, it was.
75 and 140 square feet. For some perspective, a typical parking space in the U.S. is 120 square feet.
所以
Terrifying.
好困難。始終呢度係黑暗嘅，即係一入嚟到唔見唔到光噶嘛。
One of the most common strategies for small space living is this subdivided house model. This big space that's been divided up into a bunch of tiny little living spaces.
So they took what
People
would have been a
basically have
normal
room for a
apartment
bed
and turned it into
table,
like 6
and
apartments.
a few belongings.
有啲就條理，有啲就求求其其咁樣。嗰啲唱 K 啊嗰啲啦，同埋啲水啊嗰啲咪藥品啊。
Smile to me.
Karaoke? He's doing karaoke in this tiny ass place?
Got a little karaoke machine for when he gets drunk alone.
This must be like the most annoying tenant in this fucking, like, it's literally like if this half of this place was an apartment and the other half was an apartment.
I think it's smaller than that.
It might be smaller than that. This dude is doing karaoke in there. I mean,
it's like this desk space where we're at, and maybe like a few feet behind us, and that's it, homie.
ugh.
Like it's teeny.
I mean, I guess he needs to do something to keep sane. Karaoke sounds like it might be a bit brutal, but hey, you do whatever you need to.
啲水啊嗰啲咪藥品啊，好簡單嘅啫。
What makes this model work is that they have a bigger communal space where they're able to have their cooking and their washing in the bathroom open to everyone so that they can save space and save money in their actual living quarters. So this is the kitchen for this space, which is shared by 4 families.
因為每個人生活習慣唔一樣咯，成日都因為好少個事都會有摩擦咯，唔 OK 咯，即係好多嘈交咯。
Yeah, having 4 roommates in that small of a space. No, thank you. I mean,
The
that's not even
tempting
4 roommates.
explanation
She's got a
here
kid with her.
For why the price
I wouldn't be able to deal with that at all.
Is land scarcity. You know, 7.5
Yes,
million
land
people
scarcity.
crammed into this series of islands.
But
gonna
it's
drive up the
artificial.
prices. The same
He talks
story
about
in
it
a
here.
lot of places that have run out of land that are in high demand. Think San Francisco or New York City. Okay, this might be the story in New York City and San Francisco, but is Hong Kong actually running out of land? Let's see what the drone says about this.
Flying over Hong Kong, you start to see
I mean, that is beautiful.
While yes, there's a very dense urban landscape, there's also a whole lot of green space. Government land use data says that 75% of the land in Hong Kong is not developed. Now, some of that is mountainous and rocky and not easy to build on, but certainly not all of it. So I posed this question about density to 2 experts. One is a Hong Kong citizen and the other is a 30-plus year resident. Both are advocates for better urban design.
Are high prices primarily the result of land scarcity?
No. No.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Nope.
There's a land use issue. Because also land is being inefficiently used or conserved.
The problem isn't the shortage of land. The problem is bad land management.
Land use, land management. What these experts are referring to is that of all the land in Hong Kong, only 3.7% is zoned for urban housing. But it's not because of mountains, it's because of policy. And this gets to the heart of the explanation of why more and more people are living in homes the size of parking spaces.
The first thing to note, if you want to understand the real explanation, is that the government owns all of the land in Hong Kong. Well, all except for this one church that the British built here when they ruled it back in the 1800s. And it kind of just escaped the whole government owns all the land thing.
All right, fair enough. That one church.
So the government owns all the land, and it leases it out to developers, usually for 50 years, in an auction process, where the highest bidder gets the contract. With such scarce and valuable land zoned for housing, real estate companies, more and more of them coming from mainland China with lots of money, will duke it out in these auctions, and will end up at an astronomically high price.
Like this plot of land that was just leased out for $2.2 billion.
Look how
Which set an
small it
all-time
is.
record
That's
for the
crazy.
most expensive land ever leased by the Hong Kong government to a developer.
So the way that government zones and leases land is the first part of this.
The other part of this explanation has a lot to do with taxes. If you're the type of person who navigates away from this video when you hear the word tax policy, stay with me here. This place loves low taxes. It's a great place to do business because the corporate tax is low, no value-added tax, no sales tax, free market economics, low taxes. That's embedded into the fabric.
Well,
of this
I guess
place.
that explains who's paying for it all
those
then.
Low taxes doing their work, building up those skyscrapers, slapping on those bank logos all over town. So if the government isn't getting revenue from taxes, it really needs it from another source. And in the case of Hong Kong, that source is land sales.
Because a lot of the government revenues here are driven by land revenues. And it's about 30% of government financing income.
That is a huge
The
chunk
government
of
of Hong
government
Kong
income.
can lease out
Yeah,
this land
that's
to developers
colossal.
at astronomical prices, make a ton of revenue from that, and not have to raise taxes on the people or the corporations that reside here. And they still proudly retain their
Well,
ranking
I mean, it's
as
not that they're not raising
biggest
tax on the
economy
people, they're just offloading the cost in other
What this
ways.
means
Yeah.
is that the Hong Kong government doesn't have a huge incentive to free up more land and lower prices. But while this current arrangement of bidding and auctions is really good for revenue for the government and good for the market generally, it's not super good for the people of Hong Kong.
因為我仔係過度嘅 A 仔嚟噶嘛，所以空間對於佢嚟講少咗少少，空氣唔流通嘅，對我身體都唔好嘅。
Damn, what the fuck?
This is when he gets into some of
Of
the
all
weird
the
ones.
small spaces, this is easily the most cramped. These are coffin homes.
Could I ask you just a quick question about your living space?
一個人啫喎，多個人都唔得。
That's it.
呢度一個月咧，呢個位就係2100蚊。
$267 a month for just
For living in a closet.
Yeah, not even that.
香港啲事費都太貴。
The government is slowly working on
哇，多個人都唔得。
That's just a bed.
I think my closet is bigger than this, to be honest with you. That's depressing.
It's terrifying.
That's really depressing. Like 200, like this should be like $5 a month. If it has to exist at all, it should be like $5 a month. Like,
I mean, if it
holy
has to
shit.
exist at all, I'd say $60 a month because at least you have a bed to sleep in. But-
Does he?
I know.
Does he really? Like,
I know.
I don't know about
Can I ask you
that.
just a quick question about your living space?
Where's the bed?
I know it's under everything that's in there.
Like, he might be sleeping standing up, honestly. Like, this is...
一個人啫喎，
I mean,
多
it's
個
a
人都唔得。
pillow right there, so obviously, right? Is that a pillow?
Where?
I thought this was a mattress. The blue.
This?
Like, no, I thought this all is a mattress.
Oh,
and then I thought that
and
was
you
a
thought that was the pillow here?
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe. I mean, God, he has to push all this stuff aside if he goes to sleep then?
I guess so.
Where does he put it?
I don't know, homie.
Maybe he just sleeps on it.
Just puts it in bags and puts it above him.
I guess he does have a lot of stuff in bags over here. Like, God damn,
See,
dude.
this looks like it might be a pillow though too.
That's what I thought at
Just a quick
first.
question about your living space?
I guess maybe that
一
is
個
the
人啫喎，
pillow.
多
Yeah, I guess maybe that is the pillow, and he just kind of sleeps this way. Damn. How long do you think you could?
Never, no.
Not even like a day?
I think the most I could make is maybe a month, and I think I'd go fucking crazy.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been riots burning this city to the ground, you know, over these conditions.
Yeah.
You know, this is outlandish. Like, you can't treat people like this. Like,
呢度一個月咧，
Well,
呢個
obviously
位
you
how is this
can.
not a
Like,
human rights violation? It seems like this should be a human rights violation.
Yeah.
香港啲事費都太貴。
And it sucks. It's upsetting because
government
most of
is
the people
slowly
in these, when you watch this video, are all a lot older. Like a lot older, and that's terrifying to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm. So what? Are young people just moving elsewhere, or, you know, are they? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I would like to see the demographics of you know, who is able to afford or who is forced to have to afford these kinds of conditions. I guess I can understand it. Like, if you're elderly, you can't exactly, you know, there are things that stop you from being able to
Have a steady income.
you know, have a steady income or learn the latest technology and all of that other sort of stuff. If technological advances are where your primary income gains are coming from, you know, that classic ageism there, it's difficult for, you know, people of a certain age to pick up new skills and new trades and whatnot. And I know there's been a boom in tech in China in the past, you know, decade or so, but That doesn't that doesn't hit everyone, and B, the people it doesn't hit, get hit the other way.
Yeah.
Like what one side goes up and the other starts to plummet, and if this is a result of that, then holy shit.
On this problem. Year after year, new policies.
Capitalism at its finest, absolutely.
This, but they're slow to change.
Absolutely.
Mainly because they have an incentive to keep the status quo as it is.
Out here at this industrial complex in Hong Kong, I met with a guy named Eric Wong, a local inventor and businessman who has seen a business opportunity in the midst of this space crisis. Eric grew up in Hong Kong and has been thinking about small space living for a long time.
So this guy just builds like capsules for people to sleep in.
Oh, it has Wi-Fi.
His capsules come in 1 or 2 person sizes and are meant to provide a more efficient and hygienic version of the cage and coffin homes, all at a relatively low price.
Is that like a month? Or he just purchases,
No, I think it's $382 a month. I think that's the rent for the space.
Down here there's a little box where you can put all your valuables.
I mean, it's dystopian as hell, but it's a hell of a lot better than the shit we were seeing before.
Leaps better than the shit we were seeing before, for sure.
Damn.
Okay, so there's mirror lights, there's reading lights.
But these capsules, as innovative as they are, really just put a band-aid on this housing problem.
Right.
They don't serve as a real solution. A real solution would need to come from something that's much less profitable and fun to look at. Government policy and zoning reform that will free up more land and put the interests of the people above the interests of
they gotta stop auctioning the land off.
An
auction is designed to drive the price up as much as humanly possible. And the only reason why they want to do that is because they don't want to fucking tax corporations. It's a funny how, communist China runs into the same pratfalls as capitalist America. They don't want to tax their businesses. But tax your businesses, tax your rich people, and then don't auction off those lands, or at least put like a very, very, very low ceiling on where that auction can hit. And then you'll just have to pick and choose your winners if, too many people hit that ceiling.
But the other thing is, too, is the people who end up buying it are they going to build housing on that land then?
Well, I mean, that's also a thing where you're going to have to, mandate. Like,
I know.
You want this land, you're going to have to, you don't build a giant Starbucks. You're going to have to build, housing and not cage housing, like actual humane housing.
Yeah.
Or don't auction it off. You're the fucking government. You own the land. Just build the housing yourself. Like, what your city needs.
You think.
You'd think, but, I mean... Hong Kong is a weird bird.
When I watched this one, I was just like, this is insanity.
Yeah, it is insanity. But, this also is kind of like it's a glimpse of things to come for us.
Oh, yeah.
So...
This is why I don't have kids, and we'll never have kids.
That's a funny thing because, I often get asked, usually around the holidays, about... you ever want to have kids and whatnot? And I try to keep my answers civil for, my sister, she has 3 kids. My brother has 2 kids. I don't want to be like, no, it's fucking dumb to have kids or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'd be civil. It's doesn't seem like this is a great environment to bring children into.
Not at all.
There's several apocalypses looming over the horizon, if not for climate or for societal collapse or God knows what else, World War III, nuclear holocaust. We should probably at least solve one of those problems before we start entertaining the idea of bringing more people into this shit.
Yeah, I feel like we're all gonna die real young. That's all I'm saying. I don't think a lot of us are gonna make it to our 80s.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching the video. If you liked what you just saw, hit the like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. I'd appreciate it if you did both. They would be very good for the channel and help me build the community here. If you have any kind of comments or opinions or anything like that, by all means drop them in the comments section below. I like engaging with y'all, want to do more of that, so thank you again and see you next time.